Hello and welcome to the Darby Creek Diaries. I'm Gale Thompson, and this is part of the Just Cards video hop. And this time the theme is rainbows, and I'm going to show you how to make a simple slider card with a rainbow. I just happened to notice that pieces of the My Favorite Things rainbow die worked great with the semicircle slider die of Lawn Fawn. So I thought, well, let's just try making a slider rainbow. Now, I'm too cheap to cut the rainbow out of all those different colors of cardstock because you would be out of rainbow order except for the first rainbow. So it'd basically be a waste. So I just cut it out of white Nina cardstock and I'm coloring my own colors. And now I'm going to show you how to make the cloud background. And I really apologize. The lighting, I'm having issues with it, and I'm trying, I really am. But anyhow, with this My Favorite Things rainbow stencil, all you have to do is just take a little bit of the tumbled glass distress ink, and it's really easy. You start out on the stencil and then just push out and get your color very lightly. And then you just rotate the stencil a quarter every time. And look at what a neat layer of rainbow, or not rainbows, of clouds we get. And I took it way low because I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do at the bottom anyway. And I used that fabulous purple tape to hold that down. I didn't really point that out before, but it comes off very easily and it's really cool stuff. And this is where I kind of had the lighting problem. Now I'm going to take a piece of paper and cut the rainbow out because we're going to do an inlaid die cut. And I'm using my T-ruler to make sure that it's level. I can't stand uneven. And those T-rulers really are cheap. They're only like $2. So I'm going to use some more of that fabulous tape, and it's not going to harm the inking of that card at all. And look how it comes off as long as you do it carefully and slowly. It comes off easily and no ink or paper was harmed in the making of that die cut. Now I'm going to use some Stick It and just cut up some to have so I can apply my inlaid die cut. You could use a paper trimmer for this, but that would have required me actually getting up and moving, so I didn't. And now I just take one section off at a time because if you put it down, it does have a little wiggle room, but I'm used to having things that don't have wiggle room. So you just take it off a section at a time. And the nice thing about Stick It is, this two-sided adhesive, is that when you position things on it, it'll stick, but it doesn't really stick until you push it down. So it's sort of repositionable. So now I'm just laying my outside of my die cut piece on top, and now I'm going to inlay the rainbow in my Roy G. Biv. Then it's kind of uneven at the bottom, but it doesn't matter because I'm covering it up with clouds. And now I'm positioning my slider, and I cut out the spot for that with using that purple tape again. And there we go. We have the hole for our slider. Now this was one of the days where everything kind of was going wrong. So forgive me, I'm sure you've had one of those days. So in order to have the red behind the slider, I put a little more of that candy apple distress ink behind. Now I run out of foam tape, and I'm positioning the penny that we use for the slider back. And now I'm just going to put foam tape. You want to stay clear of your slider. You don't want it to be interfered with by any foam tape. And I'm using my Ranger, or actually my Tonic Tim Holtz scissors. Those are Teflon, so it doesn't get all clogged up with the foam. Now I'm cutting off a piece of foam tape to put on the little my favorite thing, slider, little slider thingy. Now, I wound up taking it off and gluing it onto the penny because it made it too high. I don't know what I was thinking, but promised me it'll all turn out great in the end. And I want you to see how you recover from boo-boos. I'm sure nobody else makes boo-boos but me, but anyway, it'll be entertaining. Now I'm getting rid of all the adhesive backing. And I'm placing it on my card. And then see, it slides back and forth. Now, I wanted my clouds. There's a good shot of the card with the clouds, with the lighting not so bad. And I decided I wanted to give them a little personality, so I just put a little bit of distress ink around the edges, just to give them a little definition so they just didn't look like little hunks of paper. And then I was having trouble with this. So I wound up, I didn't like the thinking of you that I did in the beginning. I was having glops on my ink. I think all the ink has slid to one side of my pad. So I just decided to flip it over. You know, when life hands you lemons, make lemonade. So I just flipped it over and I retried the Thinking of You, which came from a Concord and Ninth Butterfly set. There we go. Now I'm going to let that dry for a couple of minutes. I was using VersaFine ink, black onyx. And now I thought I'd add some shimmer to the clouds. I think all clouds should have a little bit of shimmer. And then I waited a little bit and then I did it on the Thinking of You, but I was pretty gentle. I'm a little scared of smearing things because I usually do. And I decided the card needed something else. So this is one of those old Sizzix dies, you know, the big fat chunky block dies. I still have mine. So I just cut it up and I put a little bit of Wild Honey Distress ink to give it a little bit of dimension. But it needed sparkle too, so more tonic glitter pen for that. And then I just adhered it to the corner of the card using my Fawn glue tube, which lately I've been using a lot and I like it. So there's the sun. And now I'm going to glue the cloud back in, the slider cloud, and this time I'm going to leave it alone, let it dry, try not to run my hand through things, and then I adhered the rest of the clouds. And I thought, oh, it needs a little something something, but I couldn't think about, I just didn't like anything anywhere. So I was about ready to give up. And then I saw my little tiny stars, and I know it's really hard to see, but they're pretty pink posh, little teeny weeny stars. They're not the easiest thing to work with, but they sure are darn cute. So I'm taking my jewel picker and just putting a little dibby dab of glue. And that glue does dry clear. Yay, because it's really hard to get that little bit of glue on that little tiny star. Then it looks like there are little stars coming down. And it just gives it a little bit of sweetness. So this is my card for the Just Cards Video Hop Rainbow theme. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll try doing a slider card. They're really not that hard, or I wouldn't be doing it. Here's a better photo. I hope you'll come back and see me and subscribe and hit like and comment. All of those things are wonderful and they make my day. And visit me at the Darby Creek Diaries.blogspot.com. All the supplies will be listed below in links with pictures at my blog, but I'll have them below the YouTube description for everything else. And then here are some more videos that I think you'll like featuring fun products. I hope you have a great day. Come back and see me. Bye-bye.